All right, we're going to get started here. And I just want to welcome you all here to learn about biohacking your body to better health. Tonight, we're featuring myself, Dr. Jessica Buhler, and Sarah Dible. And we're both really passionate about helping people find answers to their health concerns. And so this is just another tool in the tool belt, and a very powerful one to have a foundation from a nutritional standpoint to help you become a better version of yourself. So I'll let Sarah just introduce herself too, and we'll get going.
Just seeing, can people hear me?
Yes.
Can you hear me? Okay, cool. I'm Sarah Dible, and once again, I'm a physical therapist in Vancouver, Washington. And I do NAET, which is an allergy elimination treatment, and I also do functional medicine in my practice. And like I said, I'm passionate about helping people feel better and empower them to have better control of their health and how they feel long-term.
Awesome. So biohacking, what is this? So if you've never heard this term before, you're definitely going to be hearing some of these terms, but it's basically just taking control of a complex system, which in this case is our body, in order to get a different outcome, a more desirable outcome. So we are using the power of nutrition to affect our gene expression. So we are activating our bodies to a better potential instead of supplementing for deficiencies, and that kind of thing. With this, we are actually looking to express genes differently than we were expressing before. So this is definitely something that is upcoming, I would say. There's definitely more information coming about this as well. So we're going to start by watching a 5-minute ABC primetime investigative report that was done on our flagship product in 2005. And it was this that launched this biohacking company, LifeVantage, to the front of nutrigenomics. And so we're just going to watch this ABC Primetime Investigative Report. In 2003, this was when this company had their first published peer-reviewed study, and they had one patent on the blend that is in the product called Nerf2 Protandim. So we're going to watch that ABC Primetime Investigative Report here. Oops.
Back the clock, just a few pills, who doesn't? Well, it's no longer science fiction, but science possibility, a potential breakthrough. As I found out firsthand, there may be a way to erase years, at least inside my body. Granted, it's down the road, but some scientists are wondering if a new pill I took might offer a very long life. It may not look like the Mountain of Youth, but inside this nondescript building, I'm about to become part of an exciting experiment, a kind of guinea pig. Okay. I'm here at the University of Colorado in Denver to meet Dr. Joe McCord, a world-renowned scientist. This is a pretty exciting stuff you're finding. It is. We're very excited about it. His latest research could very well unravel the mystery of aging itself. And his decades of experiments may have the potential of adding years to people's lives and possibly prevent chronic diseases like cancer, diabetes, and heart disease. It all centers around pill, and for me, it begins with a blood test. They want to check my levels of something called T-bars, which is a rough indicator of a person's actual age. T-bars can identify a condition known as oxidative stress, a kind of measure of the wear and tear on our bodies. Oxidative stress, like the rusting of an engine, is not a good thing. Bad for the body, leading to disease and leading to malfunction, and importantly, leading to what we call aging.
it is a slow progression of increasing oxidative stress. That's the characteristic chemical of the aging process.
The problem of aging begins with the very food we eat to give us energy. As our cells burn that food, they also release toxic chemicals. Those chemicals, you may know them as free radicals, react with all the components of our cells, literally bombarding them millions of times per second, damaging all our cells. The result? Oxidative stress. We all have it. The body fights back with a system of defenses. It makes two antioxidant enzymes, catalase and SOD, whose job is to gobble up the free radicals before they can harm our cells. But as we get older, some of those toxic radicals overwhelm our enzymes and wreak their havoc. For a long time, scientists thought that antioxidant vitamins like C and E would lower it, but they don't.
Turned out in just the last 5 years or so, we see that they're not good enough tools. They're not powerful enough.
But this pill, he says, is powerful enough. In fact, many times more powerful. So Dr. Hoffman, do I take these? And so, here I go. With that swallow, I've just become part of a potentially landmark scientific experiment. It's called Protandim, and tests on both mice and humans have already shown that it revs up the manufacture of those good enzymes in our bodies. More enzymes, fewer free radicals to harm us. Whether that will lead to longer life is still unknown. Experiments to see if mice live longer are about to get underway, but it's a tantalizing theory.
Right now, all we know is that this preparation decreases oxidative stress. Oxidative stress is not a disease, just like aging is not itself a disease, but it's something that accompanies and is attached to many disease processes.
Have you discovered the fountain of youth?
I wouldn't put it that way, but we may have discovered something that will tell us a lot more about how we age, what happens biochemically, and maybe how we can treat the age-related.
Normally, oxidative stress, measured by those T-bars, increases with age. But in Dr. McCord's tests, taking just one pill of Protandim a day reversed that trend for everyone at every age, even for an 80-year-old.
They all are reduced to the level of oxidative stress that one would expect, frankly, in a newborn for a very young time.
Back to the oxidative stress levels of a child? It sounds too good to be true. Will Protandim work on me? But what about my progress? After nearly 2 weeks now, it's time to get my results. Dr. McCord calculates the numbers. The result, my level of oxidative stress has declined dramatically.
45%, that's excellent.
Just look at where I fall on the graph, before and after.
Which, if extrapolated back, is the level you would see in a newborn baby.
Have we turned back the clock? Well, maybe not on the outside, but deep inside within my cells. Yes, indeed. Would you suggest I keep taking this supplement?
I would.
And so, ancient Eastern healing and modern Western medicine may soon be working together. High oxidative stress is associated with more than aging. It's been linked to hundreds of illnesses.
It's at the very center of many diseases: liver disease, diabetes, emphysema, asthma. I've studied all of it: strokes, heart attacks, even mental disease. Yes, depression, Alzheimer's disease, depression. But we do know that oxidative stress is part of those disease processes. I don't want to wait until I'm 80 years old to find out that I should have taken it.
The company that makes Protandim says the following is
All right. So that video would finish up and kind of update you with the current research, but that's what Sarah and I are going to do anyway. So that aired in 2005, and since then, it's 2018, so we have 13 years of research that has been self-funded by major universities and institutions, looking at our product, because there was nothing like it before, and really there has been nothing comparable even since then. So different companies have compared it to their own products or used it in their research to see to see if it does what it says it does. And just like this ABC Primetime Investigative Report found, John Quinones actually had a 45% reduction in just 2 weeks. And what we claim is that we have a 40% reduction in 30 days. And and we are FDA approved to say that as well. LifeVantage is a publicly traded company, and they were on retail shelves, GNC, Walgreens, and the sort, until 2009, from 2005 until 2009. And the company was virtually failing, selling less than what would average a half a bottle per store. And the problem was nobody knew what Protandim Nerf2 Synergizer was. Nobody knew what the Nerf2 pathway even was, much less what the value of this product was. And so they hired, but the company knew that they had a medical breakthrough. And so they hired a marketing consultant, and he suggested they switch to direct sales, where you had somebody telling you the information, leading you to the research, and helping you along the way, basically. And Dr. McCord and his team said, that sounds like network marketing, and there's a negative stigma attached to that I don't want attached to my product. And so they did a 6-week trial, and direct sales won by 300%. And so since 2009, this company has been a direct sales company where you're buying this product exclusively from an independent distributor. So the company grew from less than 10 million to over 200 million in just 1 year. We've been featured on ABC, NBC, PBS, Today Show, and the Wall Street Journal. These are just some of the universities and organizations that have done research on Nerf2 Protandim. And these peer-reviewed published studies, we have 23 that are available right now in PubMed, which is the public medical database. And there are 3 more that are in the process of being uploaded to PubMed as well. They're not even available yet on there. So 23 may not sound like a lot to you, but if you take any other product that you are currently taking and you go into PubMed and you put it in there, to even find one is pretty impressive, especially on your exact product. If you go and you check out vitamin C, you might find several studies, but to find the exact vitamin C that you're taking, that would be unlikely. So 23 is very significant, and these universities and associations are big as well. So what is oxidative stress? I'm going to have Sarah take over here and tell you why you might want a 40% reduction in 30 days in oxidative stress. Oh, you're muted again.
All right.
Oh,
can you hear me? There we go.
Yes.
So oxidative stress is behind many dysfunctions in our body, and it's basically the rusting or the aging of our cells as it's exposed to oxygen. And it creates these free radicals, which are unpaired like electrons that wreak havoc in our body and create inflammation and pain and dysfunction in our cells and our immune system. And much of it is caused by exposure to toxins, to sometimes poor food that we eat, poor sleep, things of that nature are what cause it in our body and cause it to get backlogged. So in your foods that you eat, you usually get a 1-to-1 antioxidant. So if you're eating a nice healthy apple or some nice blueberries, which are high on antioxidants, you actually remove a 1-to-1 ratio of the oxidants in your body to the 1 molecule of antioxidants in the food. And with the Nerf2 activation, you actually activate a 1,000,000-to-1 ratio because you activate your mitochondria all at the same time.
Yes. So what's cool about this is that there's a synergy to the blend that is in Nerf2 Protandim. So if you look over here, you see the control, and then you see our 5 components: ashwagandha, bacopa, green tea, milk thistle, and curcumin. And then you see the big red, which is Protandim, and that is the power of their blend, the specific blend that they have. When they were testing, McCord and his team, they used different NRF2 activators along with different amounts of those activators. And with the exact blend that we have, we get an 18-fold increase in the expression of the antioxidant gene. So what does that mean? So how does this activate our body? Well, within every cell in our body, we have a protein messenger called NRF2 or NRF2. And when we activate this cell, that protein messenger with this product, Protandim, that protein messenger attaches to our DNA and it causes an expression of certain genes. And this is that gene that Sarah just told us about that gives us that 1,000,000 to 1 production of antioxidants every second, you guys. So think about that. You could not possibly eat that many antioxidants for one, and you definitely are not going to keep up with your body's production of them if we're producing them all the time, if you don't have your body's own mechanisms upregulating in your favor. So this was a study published in 2015 that talked about NRF2 as a detoxifier, antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, and other cell protective mechanisms. And it said that NRF2 may well become the most extraordinary and most therapeutic preventive breakthrough in the history of medicine.
And that was University of Washington, wasn't it?
Yes.
So just for those local people around here.
Woohoo! How about this one, Sarah?
Oh, so there was some research done by a company comparing their medication called Tecfidera. Is this that one? Am I on the right one? Okay.
You get it.
So comparing Tecfidera, which is a medication for multiple sclerosis, and it they ran a parallel study and they used Protandim as their control. And in their research, trying to determine how their synthetic NRF2 activator held up against other research that had been there, they actually found that, interestingly, Protandim, a dietary supplement consisting of herbal ingredients, was the most potent inducer and therefore may be the most suited as a therapeutic strategy. So the other interesting thing is that their medication costs something like $56,000 for 3 months supply. And ours costs a couple $100 for 3 months supply for NRF2 activation.
Yes.
In a natural, non-synthetic form.
You got it.
Mm-hmm.
So this is our NRF2 product. It's the solution for oxidative stress. It's the #1 problem for anyone over the age of 18 and for a lot of people that are younger than that too. But it combats that cellular damage that's happening. So we are the only supplement proven in clinical studies to reduce the oxidative stress in humans by an average of 40% in 30 days. And also in a study done by the National Institute of Aging, they found that Protandim was the only natural product proven to extend lifespan. It helps to regulate your body's survival genes. It's estimated 10 to 25,000 human genes are affected by just this one NRF2 activator. So we have the NSF and BSCG seals, which it basically just means that what we say is in our product is actually in our product, that the quality is there, and that if you were taking this as an elite athlete, you can pass all those screens. So you can slow down that cellular aging with this NRF2 activation. So the second problem, mitochondrial dysfunction. Sarah, can you tell them why we would want to talk about this?
So ATP is the fuel that your mitochondria actually produce to run your body. The interesting thing about that is in order to produce the ATP, our mitochondria need APT to fuel their own functioning. And an interesting piece of information is that your mitochondria generates and consumes the body's weight in ATP per day. And if you're producing more ATP than oxidative stress, then you're usually feeling pretty good. When you have more oxidative stress, then your body's able to produce ATP, then you're not feeling so great. And ATP, or actually mitochondrial dysfunction, is when those little convoluted spaces in that little inner cell membrane starts to break down and not produce as much ATP. And that is correlated to many different diseases such as epilepsy, Huntington's disease, fibromyalgia, Lou Gehrig's, autism, cancer, diabetes, and Alzheimer's.
And also, and I'm sure you can relate, we also see in the most generalized way, the most common patient that we would encounter would be this person who is tired, always tired, always tired, always sick and tired of being tired, but they never get out of that cycle of being tired, no matter if they get good rest or not.
And or always hurting.
Yes, yes, amen. So with NRF1 activation, we're doing basically the same thing we have with our NRF2 proteandum product, which is why they have similar names. So within every cell in our body is a NRF1 protein messenger. And when we activate the cell with our proteandum NRF1 synergizer, that protein messenger attaches to our DNA and it causes an expression of certain genes. In this case, we get mitochondrial repair, mitochondrial replication, and ATP production. So what does that mean? We are repairing old engines, giving a cell new engines or more engines, and then giving them fuel. This is so cool, you guys. Not just the energy that we get, and it's not just physical energy, it's mental energy, it's clarity, it's performance improving, no matter what your performance is. It's better sleep, better healing, just better networking in our brain. It's just so important to have this combo of bringing down the cell damage with our NRF2 and then activating again with NRF1 to upregulate the cellular function. So damage down, function up. That's a win-win situation. And how about this, the third problem? The third problem is the leaky gut. Sarah, fill us in on what you see with this.
So the leaky gut, in my opinion, is at the root and the core of almost all illness, because that's where your defense and repair system and your assimilation occurs in your body, where you assimilate all the food that you've broken down. And when all of those particles and sometimes toxins start to leak in because of the leaky gaps in the gut wall, when all of those leak in and are allowed access to your blood system, then you start getting all kinds of increased inflammation at a cellular level, from all kinds of things like anxiety and depression or acne. That's the classic sign of leaky gut issues. If our microbiome is happy and healthy, we're not going to get things like acne. Thyroid issues, colon, your adrenal fatigue, and arthritis is all caused or originates in the leaky gut. And ProBio is the probiotic that we provide, and it has a Wellmune in it. And Wellmune helps, has its own research and helps support an improved immune system. And the other thing is that there's a coating on these probiotics that allow them to get through your stomach acid and allow them to propagate down into the large intestine. And most probiotics only have 4% survival rate, and this has a 60% survival rate of the little microorganisms that need to get to your large intestine.
Perfect. And the fourth problem is then a fatty imbalance, which most people are aware of the benefits of omegas. There's tons of research. It's the most researched supplement known, and the most common deficiency known as well. So this fatty imbalance where we just don't have enough good fats versus our bad fats. And so the company came up with this Omega Plus product, and it has our omega-3s, EPA, and DHA for nervous system, cardiovascular, skin, and immune health, and omega-7s for weight and metabolism, and then a little bit of vitamin D, which is also good for very similar systems as well. And this is a very pure form of omegas, traceable from boat to bottle. We can find the exact boat that it was came from, and then we know the processing facility as well. My kids love this fish oil. They have taken fish oil since they were in utero, and they chew this, which it's not chewable, but you can chew it. It's very pure. So we're just going to quickly go over a few of these other products here that the company has as well, and that they've come about sort of due to demand, and they just make sense. And this is Nerf 2 activation for our skin in a 4-step skincare line. So remember that study that I mentioned where the National Institute of Aging found that our Nerf 2 Protandim product was the only anti-aging product on the market, the only thing proven to extend lifespan, right? So this has that benefit of then we can have dual effect, right? We have that same blend of Nerf 2 in our skincare line here. So we can activate from the inside out with Nerf 2 Protandim, and then from the outside in with the True Science skincare line. And another thing to note with this as well is that your skin is your largest organ, you guys. It's susceptible to so many environmental factors, including sun and pollution and everything else. It's just affected by so many things. So it's important to take care of your skin too. Sarah, will you tell us about Axio?
So Axio helps with brain health, and it has all kinds of brain activation and healthy brain supplement, L-theanine, and I don't even remember what else, but there's a caffeinated one and there's a decaf one, which is really helpful for people who don't like caffeine or those who don't metabolize caffeine very well. And it's more of a healthy exercise and brain activator, and more than it is like a performance like power drink that has lots of sugar. It actually just is sweetened with a little bit of stevia. The picture on the left is handwriting from, I don't know how old the boy was, like 8 or 9, second grade if I remember correctly. And that's his handwriting. And 1 week onto Nerf 2 and Axio, his handwriting, you can see on the right-hand side, became a lot tidier and much more organized. And that's just on 1 week of both Nerf 2 and this Axio drink.
And this is Physique, which is our weight management line. And obviously, people are always looking for ways to either lose weight or manage their weight. So we have in the center there a protein shake with slow and fast release amino acids. And then fat in capsule form, a fat burn targeted at the visceral fat, the stuff that surrounds our organs and is the most dangerous to our health. And ProBio, which Sarah already told us about. And then also a product called Cleanse, which is designed to remove that sludgy gunk that gets built up in our intestines that we need to clear out of there and help to heal up the gut lining. You want to tell us about this one?
So people were finding that their pets were getting better when they gave them Protandim. And so the company actually started formulating specifically for dogs. This is not for cats or for horses or for any other pets, but specifically formulated for dogs. And a lot of people find that it helps support, especially an aging dog, some of their joint issues. It improves their fur and just helps them behave younger. And I have some friends who have put their dogs on it and they feel like they're just younger and perkier behaving literally within about a week.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Kind of cool.
Okay, so we're gonna briefly go over this. The other side of this company is how do you get involved, right? So we're gonna talk about networking really quickly. So food, clothes, supplies, decoration, services, and more. We all do this networking thing and we really don't even realize we're doing it. But when you're satisfied with something, you tell people about it. When you don't like something, you tell people about it, right? So if you go and you have the very best massage you've ever had, you're gonna tell somebody about it. And somebody might try that massage therapist just because you recommended it, right? So this is networking. So there's 2 ways to get involved with this company: as a preferred customer or a distributor. Both will get wholesale pricing, both will choose the products that they want to use, and both will have the products delivered directly to them, which is so huge in a high-paced world that we live in. We need technology-driven products where we have the choice of doing it when we have those few moments during the day. And the difference between the two is that distributors get paid to network. This S-curve just kind of shows where we are along things. We're just barely getting started. I'm sure you hadn't heard about this product before anybody else told you about it. That was the same thing for me not quite a year ago, and I was actively pursuing NERV2 research in looking for answers for patients with nervous system issues and cancer issues as well. Because we're a publicly traded company, we have to disclose our income statement, and so here you go. Here's an idea of what distributors would be earning. And to get started, so like I said, preferred customers, they would just pick the products they want right from the get-go and check out, and they're good to go. And as a distributor, you come on with a bundle of products, silver, gold, or platinum pack. And if you're really thinking about doing a business with this, I would highly recommend the platinum pack. But what you're getting is products, because if you want to tell people about the products, then you want to know what they've done for you. And so it's a really nice way to get the products in your body. Sarah, will you tell us about these subscription stacks?
So when you bundle things, you actually save on the price of the actual items. And the other thing is you get free shipping on these subscription stacks. So when you do the Vitality stacks, they come in little either travel packs where it's bubble wrapped, and each individual daily packet is attached in 3 bubble wraps together, and really nice for travel, and or really nice to remember whether you took your pills or not. When you are like, did I take them this morning or not? And you either find the wrapper, or you, when you're looking at a bottle, you don't know if you took it or not. I like the packets because I remember when I take my own, but the bottle is nice when you're dosing things out for a whole family. And then the skincare regimen is all bundled together. Free shipping.
Yes. Woohoo! Okay, so we just want to thank you for taking the time to get on here and listen. And we just want to remind you to get back to the person who invited you to this presentation. And we also want to note that we do not claim to treat, prevent, diagnose, or cure any symptom, condition, or disease, but we definitely have stacks to address the 4 most common underlying problems in humans: oxidative stress, mitochondrial dysfunction, leaky gut, and fatty imbalance. And so again, just thank you for getting on here and listening to us. And if you should have any questions, we are more than happy to answer those.